Jack Crowley. We all know him as Ireland's number 10, as a Munster leader and as one of rugby's next generation of stars. The young man from Innishannon seems to have the rugby world at his feet, but it's been a long journey to get here. Bandon RFC, Cork Constitution and even Valley Rovers GAA club can lay claim to helping Crowley get to where he is today. But one West Cork school has had as big an influence as any. The Southern Star travelled to Bandon Grammar School, where Crowley was a student, to find out more about the making of the player we see today.
Ioanni's come in off his wing, that's him to make the tackle on Crowley, who gets it off to Nash, and Casey and Aaron are building and building and building! In goes Jack Crowley! Crowley with Ireland's first try, Crowley with his first international try.
I suppose Jack was very kind of an interesting character in that it wasn't necessarily his physicality or his speed or athleticism that kind of set him apart early days. It was kind of his mentality from the off, even as a first, second year, how inquisitive he was, how serious he was about everything. That's definitely what set him apart. You know, like we had other lads like Darren Sweetenham and Gavin and like other amazing athletes, but definitely for Jack it was the mentality and just how proactive he was with his training and what he wanted to do, and he was constantly knocking on the door, and he was watching more rugby than anybody else, and you know, he'd see something at the weekend and he'd be asking, oh, could we do this with the back line the next game or whatever, you know. So just very serious about wanting to reach his potential from the very start. And just that mentality, not afraid to make mistakes, not afraid to try things. And I suppose that's mainly what set him apart, you know. And look, obviously he's an excellent athlete. He's got all those things. He's got all the physicality now and everything. But when he came in the door here first, that was definitely the first thing that you were going, geez, this guy's a little bit different, you know.
Rugby has been on the rise across West Cork in recent years. There's the West Cork Mafia making waves at Munster, women's rugby growing with the success of Sacred Heart Secondary School, Clonakilty RFC and Skibbereen RFC, alongside great teams in Bantry and Bandon. A huge amount of work goes in at the grassroots level.
Well, we've a fairly busy schedule, especially for the senior cup team here, and you're trying to marry that and get a bit of a balance with the academics as well. So the lads would do two gym sessions during the week. They'd be morning sessions, and in the evenings then it would be most evenings, kind of depending on the schedule of games, but they'd be down Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays and Saturday mornings. I suppose when Jack was in fourth year, he was playing as a 9, so he was down doing probably a lot of position specific skills, just getting his passing and his catching or whatever, kicking right. And then when he went into fifth year and sixth year, he was working more as a 10, so he'd have done kind of individual sessions here, goal kicking, finding touch, all that kind of stuff.
One word that is consistently used when talking about Crowley is mentality. For all his skill on the ball and composure when kicking, it's how he approaches the game that sets him apart.
Crowley's in the pocket already.
They'll try and get the penalty rather than put it on Crowley, surely, to drop a goal under these circumstances. They've had a couple of 10s over the years that in these moments have found a drop goal for a special moment on a special day. And you know what? They just found another one.
So Philip, in terms of any standout moments for Jack, was there any moment when you were involved with him in the team that you felt, you know, this fella can really make it to the top level? When Jack was in his last year of senior cup, so he would have been a sixth year, we played Glenstall Abbey. They had just won the cup the year before with Ben Healy, and they were a really good group. They were a strong team at the time. We drew the first game against them, and everybody knew we probably didn't play as well as we could. And that game went to replay, and before the replay we had mid-term, and it was Jack was just phenomenal during that mid-term. I remember going home the bus after the first game, and Jack is up the top of the bus. What are we doing for mid-term? What trainings are we doing? What are we looking at? Can you cut this bit of video for me? I want to show it to the lads. I think we should be doing things this way or that way, you know. So Jack had a real mature. Jack was like having another coach in the setup, really, an on-field coach. And just that week, Jack just grabbed it by the scruff of the neck, and geez, we were in all week. We were in Monday to Friday, just with gym and video and just looking through stuff. And honestly, Jack was pushing most of that. And we played Glensall up in Thomond Park the following Wednesday, and Jack just put on an exhibition. Jack scored. I think he might have got 2 tries, and he kicked everything, and he marched the lads around the field, just phenomenal. I think he scored 21 points the same day. But definitely, though, that week and a half, you're just going, this guy is different, you know. For such a young guy to be able to grab it by the scruff of the neck and be so proactive and so crystal clear in what he wanted to do, and for it kind of to come to fruition in at the end of it up in Thomond Park, and for him to put in such a performance it was incredible, in fairness.
Ireland have been worried about replacing Johnny Sexton since before Crowley made his Munster debut in 2021. From his beginnings in Innishannon and Bandon to the heights of playing at a World Cup and winning the URC, Crowley has shown he's capable of dealing with everything that comes his way. And if the past 3 years have shown us anything, it's that he'll be first in line to grab future opportunities for years to come.